What's the main focus of Romans chapter 6? It explores the life after justification by faith, particularly the relationship between Christians and sin. Paul emphasizes that believers, having died and resurrected with Christ, are no longer slaves to sin but should live a holy life. So how does Paul explain the significance of dying and resurrecting with Christ? He explains that baptism symbolizes our death and burial with Christ, and our subsequent resurrection with him. Thus, believers are no longer slaves to sin but, like Christ, live a new life. This signifies that we should shed our old sinful lives and live a new holy life. Why does Paul say believers should not continue sinning to magnify grace? Paul points out that while God's grace can overcome sin, it doesn't mean believers can continue sinning to display more grace. He emphasizes that believers have broken off relations with sin and should not live in sin. He encourages believers to live a holy life, showing the transformation of God's grace in their lives. How does Paul describe the new relationship between believers and sin? Paul uses the metaphor of a servant to describe the new relationship between believers and sin. He states that believers were once servants of sin, but are now servants of righteousness. Therefore, believers should dedicate their bodies to God as tools of righteousness to live a holy life. This new relationship implies that believers' lives should reflect practical actions breaking off from sin. What insight does chapter 6 offer modern Christians? Romans chapter 6 reminds modern Christians that faith is not just a resolution, but a way of life. As we die and resurrect with Christ through faith, we should break free from the shackles of sin and live a new holy life. It encourages us to continuously pursue righteousness and holiness, witnessing God's grace and power through our lives.